Yo, good morning. Sunday
No,
morning.
there it is. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah. What a weekend. What a week, actually.
Eh,
What a week.
What a full week.
What a busy
Again,
day.
right?
What a busy day Friday we had. That was just a bomb day. Bomb
Everything
day.
just worked perfect, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, it did. So, yeah,
Have you
Sunday.
slept since that phone call?
Which phone call are you talking about?
The one that we had
Oh,
Thursday?
not really. I've been thinking about it, just I've been thinking about it a lot. And, Sean the Gulf dropping bombs all weekend, dude.
He hasn't stopped. That guy's, I mean, geez.
He's got a source somewhere way up. And, man, he's just dropping bombs, bombs.
So let me say something about that, okay?
Yeah.
And it's funny, right? People don't understand what it takes to be on this side of the microphone, do they?
No, it's a lot harder than you think.
Right? And then you're trying to protect your sources, right?
Yep.
And you're trying to give content and not get in trouble, not get your source in trouble, and
Right, right,
and
right.
and yet still give content to the people out there, right?
Well, yeah, because you want to give them as much information without crossing that line.
Right.
Because
So
you're protecting the integrity of the investigation and your source. But I understand why people want to know, hey, you've been saying this for a week or two. What's going on? It's
yep.
like, we try, we do our best. That's what I can tell you.
And for the people out there, I know it's frustrating to hear this code all the time, and we're talking in riddles and
Yeah,
nothing makes sense, right? So, I mean, I can understand that. So for that, I apologize to everybody that's out there. The the problem comes to be this. If we come out and just start yipping yapping at you guys and start dropping all this stuff, well, what if that screws up the investigation that they've been how long? 2 years making, right? And spent how
right,
much money
right.
and all these hours and paperwork and lawyers and for what? For for, for a passing comment that you and I gonna get what a like or two, which means nothing. Like I
No,
don't
you're
think it's
right.
worth it. It's just not
I,
worth it.
I
To
agree.
get justice. All this is just not worth it.
And I tell you, it's even harder to sit on it.
Yep. But that's unfortunately the
What we do,
torch
what we
that
do.
you're
Yeah,
carrying, right? That's
yeah.
un-
I was at a pool party yesterday, for just to gather with some cousins and stuff in down in Lakeville, and it came up. I kept my mouth shut. I
yep.
couldn't really, it sucks. They're looking at me like, they know what I do, and they're looking at me for. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, you're right, you're
Yep.
clever, yeah.
Yep.
No, I just kind of wanted a break from it too, in the same sense, like, I was just kind of
Yes.
like, like I'm gonna jump in the pool, I just take off for a minute and two come back. But it was fun. It's fun. It's fun to see. Geez, there was people from all over Massachusetts there, and it was everybody knew about the case. It wasn't like, who's that? What are you talking about? No, it was front and center.
Really? So
Yeah,
that was the
yeah,
topic of conversation, huh?
yeah. Everybody from 80 years old down to 20 something years old knew about the case.
Wow. And that's one thing that I don't think people even give credit to. How much has this case brought people together in regards to people's families, right? Right? I mean, kids,
Right.
mothers,
Yeah,
fathers, husbands, wives, there's something that's common ground to talk about, right?
yeah, it is because you've got a cover up. You've got a Boston police officers. You got Canton police officers. You got a murder. You got all kinds of, in the house, not in the house, geo tracking. You have snowstorm. You have a WBZ putting out a ring camera. I mean, you can go on, and then you go into the trial, right?
Right.
And then you can dissect the trial. And
And
you
that's a
have
whole nother thing, right?
so literally could have spent hours and hours and hours going over it. But hence, this is what I do now. So I'd rather do it with you and someone
Well,
and actually someone that knows or is very familiar or has been in the sites of the trial. It's hard to bring people, because they have their own thoughts and stuff. And she's just trying to, just okay, that's cool. You think what you want. No one thinks she's guilty. Just so you know, no one never came up that she was guilty. It
You know,
was,
you don't hear that, do you? You don't hear people
no,
coming out saying, I heard this thing and this girl's guilty. You don't hear that. You hear
no.
miscarriage of justice. Eve, take your time, sweetheart. We're not going to go anywhere, dear. No
And
rush.
the thing that everybody was really kind of confused about, believe it or not, I was actually happy that they knew it was the double jeopardy.
Yes.
They just don't understand.
Time out.
Joey,
Good morning, Mr. Flipperhead.
Hey, great job yesterday, bro. The videos
On what? All of them. My God, jeez, you can't say well. Don't. Everything is just.
If you're not on X, and you're not following Joe Flipperhead,
leave.
You don't need,
Oh my God, there's so much that's there.
He broke down. Tom, did you see how he broke down the charging documents with Dr. Turboy?
I sure did.
That was awesome.
Awesome. You know what it is? It's how he takes the content and puts it in front of you so that you're able to see it. It's funny. See, guys are different.
Yeah.
Guys need to see it on paper. We need to see it.
Yeah.
He does it that way. He puts it down on paper so that everybody can see it, not just the guys.
No, he's funny. He's a funny fuck, man.
Yeah.
He busts my balls all day long. Well, you saw that. You were on that chat yesterday, right? Holy Jesus, man! And he's a fucking Philadelphia. He's a Phillies fan. I was like
Eagles
fan. Like, come on, man. He's posting this thing about one guy holding up one trophy, man. I sent back just Brady going like this with the rings on his fingers. Like, yeah, okay, Joey, bring it. I shouldn't have said that. He's gonna crush me today.
There was a couple times I had to put the phone down and just walk away from it. I couldn't stand it. I was my God. But
what he did for Colleen O'Neill with Ed from the building department.
Yes, that's her friend Ed.
Oh my God, Colleen! I tell you what, Colleen from the that power equipment company.
Yep.
And the protest in front of John Connolly's house is never, ever, ever going to get old. Ever going to get old.
So Colleen's been fighting this fight for, oh my God, for a while now. And listen, it's a small business in Canton. They're trying to just make money and do the right thing, right? And the city, the town of Canton just is dropping the hammer. They're finding things to find them about.
I read.
Meanwhile, the guy's got his back door of his house listed as his front door, so we can have a driveway. So the city paved the driveway to the guy's house just by him changing the front door to the back door. You can't do that. But yet in Canton you can. Guy's got a storage container in his backyard. Can't do it. Yet there it is.
John Connolly has one in the back of his yard too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
And she's very, very vocal about it because they just continuously come in and harass that girl when she's at work. The police department.
I saw that. And then she's up there at the town meetings too. Let the select board have it right before, and I know people don't really understand maybe at the time what was going on, but this is a big deal. This is not like the town of Canton is trying to take a property basically.
Yes. Speaking about
there's Helena.
That's the number one law enforcement officer right there. She must allow that to happen. So Helena is got to be part of all that harassment and ticketing and code violations going on at that power equipment small business, a small mom and pop business. She's behind. She's putting them out of business.
And they bought that company from a previous owner, right? That had been there for maybe 20 or 30 years. They never had a problem until they bought it.
Because they want the property for themselves.
Yeah,
that's what they do. They're almost trying to run them out of town.
That's right.
Not right.
I don't think they're going to go anywhere. To be honest with you, I've met her boyfriend. I met her boyfriend. Fuck around and find out with that guy. Don't. Just
ain't gonna happen. But time out. The guy wants to do his job. right? He just wants to go to work, and they're busting his chops.
I showed up there during the winter, and Colleen wasn't there yet. And before it even opened, there was 4 people in the parking lot with
In
machines,
line. Oh yeah.
yep, ready to get some work done. This guy's not hurting for business. This guy wants to keep going, but these people in Canton just want to slow him down, aggravate the shit out of him, hopefully they get defeated and move on. I don't see it happening.
I've heard nothing but excellent things about that company. Excellent things, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I take it. I mean, he must be really talented because like you said, there were 4 before it even opened. There's 4 people in line. I'm hearing stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
So
if you hey, Colleen, or you guys ever want to come on sometime, just let Tom or myself know.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your whole story.
I'd love to talk to Jeff. I mean, he's busy, and I understand he's working, and she kind of has to fight it because he's working. But I mean, they shouldn't be fighting it at all. Small business guy, right? He's supposed to give back to the community. He does a lot of that, I hear.
They have employees too, not just those 2. They have other people they pay for. They support their families, right? Through that company. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I guess maybe Helena was going to sell her house and give the money, the proceeds to Jeff.
Stop it.
That's what should happen, right?
Was that Helena?
The aggravation? That was her.
I mean, could you get a lawsuit going here? I mean, I don't know. I just find it very odd that the building inspector would come in every other day or every day with a $500 fine. What's the purpose of that? I mean, what are you doing? That's intimidation. That's and then you have another guy, an electrical inspector, coming in to help you film it. Come on, what do we do?
You're telling me the building structure has changed drastically in any way since it was built in 1980 maybe?
I don't know.
You're telling me the outside perimeter of that building has changed, right?
The only thing that's changed is the cop that built something next door to his house.
Funny how that works.
He got all the permits he needed. He got it. Like you
front
said,
front door, back door. Hey, listen, that's Canton for you. That tells you everything you need to know. Your front door is the back door. The back door is the front door. Nothing's right. Everything's backward.
Right. Oh yes, Tom, you just nailed it. But my point being is that she's raised these concerns at the select board meeting.
Oh yeah,
and nothing happens though.
But here's your problem. If they even say boo, then they have to say boo every single time. And they don't want to go through that in any way. Would you want to deal with Rita every day? Or Jen O'Donnell? Or Colleen?
If I was on the right side of justice and the right side of doing things, I have no problem dealing with those guys. Because I can logically see what the problem is that we need to fix it. That easy.
In a perfect world, they'd each get up, explain their problems, and then they'd be fixed. Right. Next week, yep. All right, this is what we fixed. Oh.
Right. Instead, they want to go through all this pain and energy just to focus it on one group of people to bust their balls.
Speaking about busting balls, let's start this morning. You ready to bust some balls?
Sure, let's go.
Dude, what the frig is up with this shit? Look it.
What's that?
The volume. Wait a minute. Where's my volume? Ready?
Yeah.
Like he owns the property. St. John's School and the cemetery owns us. But those rules don't apply to Camerata. Literally 20 feet from here is where it dropped off. I put this gate in here for St. John's to stop it. But now that he runs this cemetery, he thinks he fucking owns it. Okay, here's the gate. Look at what he's done. This was a big hole.
Mike.
Yo.
I dare you to go back and start filling in the backyard. I dare you.
No way.
Do it.
Can't do it.
It's allowed right there. Oh, it's right. Canton. There was no, that's behind the cemetery. And we know what's being dumped there?
Don't tell me like line clippings and all that.
Yes, exactly what it is.
What company's dropping it off there and filling it?
They've
We
been
know?
doing it for over a year.
So
They don't
they're
gotta
trying
go
to
to the
make.
dump. They don't gotta pay
Oh,
nothing. Just go to the dump. It's their
wow.
own personal dump behind the cemetery.
Yeah, I see contractors at the dump dumping bushes and grass clippings. I
And
don't know if you have a
and what
company or
else?
like,
What else you dumping there, huh?
oh,
Trash?
I don't, maybe,
How can you
maybe.
do that, guy?
So who put the gate up? This gentleman here that was talking,
No, the guy that I
just
think
doing the dumping.
I think the guy that's doing the dump and put the gate there so he can use it as his own personal dump site. Keep people
Wow,
out. But
wow,
it's in the part of a cemetery. Cemetery is public property, isn't it?
it is.
Then why is this guy putting up?
Wow.
So
What
we're gonna
what's
have to
the
take a we're gonna have to
no,
take a peek at this, Mike.
definitely.
All
I'm
right.
definitely, yeah, I'm down to clown. Absolutely.
I'm gonna play it again.
He's done, yeah. Like he owns the property. St. John's School and the cemetery owns this. But those rules don't apply to Camerata. Literally 20 feet from here is where it dropped off. I put this gate in here for St. John's to stop it. But now that he runs
Oh,
this cemetery, he thinks he fucking owns it.
okay.
There you go, bud.
I'll have to look into that. I'm trying to figure out what that is. It sounds like there's a lot of traffic going by, and I think I might know where it is.
Yeah,
There's a
I think
there's a piece of property across the street from a cemetery that someone punched a hole into it right at the set of lights, and I don't know if that's it or not, but I'll have to check it out. There's a cemetery on both sides actually, one across the street from Washington Street, and one across the street from the cut through at the set of lights that they put in a couple years ago. Oh wow! I mean
that.
that's the kind of
Listen,
shit that's what it's their town versus our town, right? That's just
there you go.
totally,
Listen,
unfair.
you know what we should do with that little spot out back? There's like an opening. We should like make a billboard. Put a big billboard up right there.
On whose property?
Who cares? We'll just put it up.
Tom. See, we can't. I know
It's
an eye for an eye.
Canton.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's Canton. You don't need any
I-
permits. You don't need any variances. No zoning.
According to
No planning board.
according to the building inspector, you do. If you own a certain business and it's, I'm still baffled on why they're getting a $500 permit. And this guy here is a contractor, right? That he's maintaining. It sounds like he's maintaining the graveyard. I mean, the cemeteries now. So he thinks he's got free access to dump whatever he wants in there now. Oh wow!
I've heard about that. I heard about that a year ago.
Oh really? It's been all that long, huh?
Yes, and I've been keeping an eye and listening and keeping an eye. And I in the spring, they told me about it again, and now it's fall. So what's going to happen is when he goes and does all the landscaping stuff.
I just dump it all there. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's share this. Okay, this is what you were talking about. Miss Colleen, I'm sorry you even got to deal with this. This isn't how
Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, this is crazy. This is
Canton
crazy.
residents. Here are your tax dollars hard at work. Building Commissioner Ed Walsh and Canton Electrical Inspector John, was it Levis?
Yep, he did my electrical.
Okay.
Yep, his dad did. Yep, him and his dad.
Working hard to issue fines to small businesses. Also recording on private property without the business owner's permission, which is illegal. $7,000 of tax dollars spent for land survey to expose their corrupt cop Charles Ray's property that he filled
Onto town property on the Walpole Terrace. Yep. And John Conley has a storage.
container with no permit.
And it's like right in his backyard too. Well, it's like right in he's in a big backyard and it's just sitting back there. What's in there?
Doesn't you would think people keep like equipment?
Like
Look.
like lawnmowers or snowblowers or that kind of stuff.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
just storage. You would think, right?
I would hope so. Why would you need I mean, what else would you have in there? Like a marijuana grow?
All right, here's the town.
oh,
The
yep,
town
that's-
paved this.
That's someone else's. So that's supposed to be a sidewalk, right? And people around Canton that have a sidewalk on the side of their house and that stops somewhere along the line. Like I have it on Bailey Street, right?
Okay.
There's a person across the street from me that did the same exact thing with gravel, right? It's not even his property, but he wants to make it a parking spot for his guests and stuff like that. So people can't even walk down my street, which is a narrow street with children, dogs,
Right.
bikes, without
He's
even.
parked right there.
Yeah. He's not parked there all the time, but no one even parks there. But I mean, you have landscaping companies that park on the side of my roads and stuff. It's tough to get by.
Dangerous.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly
Yeah,
like that.
I see it
Yep.
now. I see exactly what you mean. Yep.
It's crazy. I think, is that a selectman's house right there with the paved one? Is that what's his name there? He's on vacation right now. The chair. I forget his name. Yeah, there's John Connolly.
Storage unit. That's it.
If I was the owner of that house right there, back there,
This one?
I'd be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's ugly as shit.
I
And, you know,
wonder.
now we have these Zoom meetings, right? I mean, how are we supposed to get stuff done? How are we supposed to air our dislikes and likes about what's going on, and how do we go forward from here? How do we get the town to listen to these infractions that are being put upon us for no reason? They just want to bully us. You know?
Mike,
What?
that's the thing. You can go and yell at them. You can go up there and ask them. You can go up there with a piece of paper and specifically ask, I want the sidewalks painted new color.
Right.
Thank you. Your 3 minutes are up. They don't care.
Right. No, I get what you're saying, man.
That is the problem. And it's sad. It's really sad.
Bothers me that this guy here, he's in his 60s. He's walking into a small business that does well, serves the community very well. A lot of people like it because they show up there every goddamn day. They employ a couple of people, right? It's not a big place. It's not like it's massive, but they have people that want stuff fixed. And this douchebag is walking in there trying to like muscle his way in and say, I'm going to bust your balls, basically. It's not right.
But why though? I don't understand. Again, I don't understand why.
What's their end goal? I don't know. Just to get them to close up shop and sell the property, and so they get other plans to do with that property. I don't know. We have to. That's why we need to talk to Colleen or her boyfriend. Get him on here and say what's going on. Tell us the whole story. Tell us what happened, so that we have I want a better understanding from it. I mean, we could go down there and do a live stream, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
You know what? We can do that this week. If you want to show, we'll just go right down there, midday at lunchtime, and get the employees out there. What exactly are we talking about here? And then we can show the people how Mr. Ray's house was built. What he did wrong, and let's just go through it together as a team.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm in with that.
All right, man.
It's Walpole Terrace or Walpole Street?
Terrace.
Walpole Terrace.
I know exactly where it is. I used to go by there when I belonged to the Cape Club, and I used to drive by there, going the way to the Cape Club. It's real easy going up the hill. It's right on your right hand side. They fix snow blowers, everything, lawnmowers, anything you need. They can fix anything. And you try to find a small garage that fix small engine motors around here.
Walpole Street, Canton, right?
Well, I posted a picture yesterday. I thought it was Walpole Terrace. I've been there. I walked their property.
Okay, I'm trying to pull it up on Google Earth.
All right.
So we can kind of get it like a look down at it. All right, that looks better. All right.
Social change warriors, good morning. All right.
All right, so let me stop that.
Leaf blowers. People, yeah, they fix leaf blowers. Yes, they do. Yeah.
All right, this is it, right, Mike? Help me out here. What's what?
All right,
Is
hold on.
this the business here?
No, nope.
No. Okay, housing.
No. Where are you? I'm trying to think. No, it's not. It's going to be. if you go back down to where they split off down by the Paul Revere Park, I don't know if you're in the right street or not.
Walpole Terrace, Canton, right?
Yeah, I believe it is. Okay. All right, let me just think here. All right, hold on. Right there. See that? See the marker? You see the marker
Yes.
right there?
The
That's
pen.
it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
So what's wrong with the business here? I don't see
It's
what
still-
the issue
see,
is.
see the house to the right?
This house here?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That was yep. That shouldn't be there.
Oh, he's got no frontage. Oh, the prick. Look at this. He's got no square frontage.
That's right.
That's why they use the back door, and the back door abuts to the abutting property, which is Walpole Terrace.
And you can't see it with all those trees are there. There's a
That's
couple
right.
storage. Yeah, there's a couple storages there. Then you have if you back,
Oh, dude.
yeah, back then you get a river that runs right behind it, and then over to the left,
Wetlands.
right here. There's all
The
rivers
Pontet
right there.
River. Hey, that house is built illegal. That house got to go. It's built in wetlands. That's why they want Walpole Terrace gone, because that'll validate the house. There's no way to get to it. How? There's no frontage, guy.
No, and he put his mailbox up at the front street up here.
Up here?
Yep.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
with no way to get to his house. Like to drive down, you can't drive down that driveway, so to speak, where that pool is. There's no way to drive your car. See, it stops. It's crazy,
Where's he
dude.
park?
See the car over to the. He has to go around the business and park his car there.
Oh, no. I blockade that freaking bitch. There's no right away there. No.
You should put a gate there.
Oh, no. You know what you put there? Storage container.
Whatever.
Yep.
But
Well,
then
let's
across,
pay. I think we should freaking raise money for that.
look at
That's
machines.
freaking not right, dude. Mike, there's no frontage. The house is
I
in
know.
the middle of nowhere. There's not
know,
even a
bro.
driveway.
I know.
Who?
See how
When was this built? When was this built?
That's why we need to have them on there.
We need to know when the house was built.
Hey,
And-
also,
Lot.
business.
Listen,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
The lot and the plot number, right? That
Yeah.
means someone at the registry of deeds has to friggin' let this go in. How can they register this in deed this as a property, a new build? How?
I don't-
There's definitely Mike. That's where the problem comes to be. Is they want this property. I guarantee if they look, you'll find I guarantee they said that this is the driveway and that there's an easement to
Yep.
that building, and the easement didn't go with the sale of the building when it got sold. So now there's no easement. There may have been at one time when the old cop owned it, right?
Yep.
It got bought. I guarantee you want to look at them paperwork. There's most likely an issue, which is why they want them out. Wow! Wow!
Look at all the work he has. You know, all the machines.
Oh yeah,
he
I
has.
know. No,
You
no.
know?
He,
And see this house right here, the one that's right here on the before the trees, right? No, go back other way, right next to the building, right here. Yeah, see the house right there? They own that one. The
that's a
company
house.
Yeah.
Or-
No. Go back to the shed right here. Yep. To the right down there, right there.
That's a house.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. But the company owns that. All right. And the builder made him see that set of stairs right there.
yeah.
The building inspector made him come in and change all those stairs around and just play fuck with them. It was crazy,
Really?
dude. Yeah. Yep.
So if we can go find other stairs like that in town, especially if it's like a business owned by like maybe like a pizza guy and the stairs aren't appropriate, we got to make stairs the right stairs, dude. We have to demand it. Same as
yeah.
this, right? It's good for the goose,
mean-
good for the gander. No,
Tom,
Oh,
you
we
make
know.
total you make total sense, right? But
let's
you
do some
can't-
Elmer Fudd, dude. This is I seen heinous, dude. That zoning, conservation, planning. There's no way. No. Even
Nope.
with the variance guy right here. No, you can't do that.
Nope. You can't cut through a business like that to get your house now.
Absolutely. And this is not a street, is it?
Well, they call it Walpole Terrace.
This is
And that
Walpole Terrace. Really?
That might have been renamed just to try to get this done. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
in
yeah.
theory, yeah. So I don't know, but it's a parking lot. You pull in, it's a parking lot of a business. That's what it is. That's what it is. I've walked it. I've taken pictures of it. The Neponset River's right behind it. You can see there's no frontage to the other house, but they have a mailbox up on the main road. If you go to your left, up to the top of the street there, Tom, and you go up a little bit, he's got a mailbox out there with, so he has to walk. I don't know how he gets his mail. How he must cut through a neighbor's lawn or what. I'm not quite sure how he does it.
I'm looking right now.
It's crazy.
I'm looking at old maps of Canton to see who. That's what you got to do. You got to go back to see who owned what.
Right.
Oh my God, Mike! I can't believe it.
Now, can you see why she's vocal? Can you now see why?
Vocal,
Yeah.
Mike, listen.
Totally. Yeah.
I like the spot right here. How about you? We'll drop a house right here. Well, you know what? How about some 40Bs right out here? Who cares? We'll make it. We'll redirect the river. We'll just drop it right there. We'll helicopter all the stuff in. And guess what? The only way to get to your 40B projects, you got to park on these streets and the side road. That's it. Fill these neighborhoods up with cars. That's it. On street parking allowed on even other days.
That's the Neponset River.
Wow.
Right through there. Yeah. It's crazy.
Do you know what it takes to get a permit to do anything near the near conservation land? Like anything.
It's an envelope. But anyways, I'm just, just to her point, I've always wondered, she's so vocal at these meetings. I'm just like, what is the problem? So I actually went down there just because I had to see with my own two eyes. What is she talking about? And I met her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he told me some crazy. He told me some crazy.
Wow, guy. Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy stuff right there, Mike.
I don't know if he'd actually come on the show because I think he's on an ongoing lawsuit, maybe.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
But his girlfriend is doing the right thing. He caught our attention.
I think if we ask her, I think she wouldn't have a problem.
No, I mean, she's out there with John Cabot in front of the John Collins on the house. She's got no problem. She's a very.
My mind's still blown away by that. I just can't. I just can't. Mike, there's no frontage. You can't do that.
Nope. I
can't tell you how much you can't, but there it is.
It's a totally illegal house.
And they're gonna complain about a guy on the sidewalk with a sign, and they're gonna drop the hammer on that.
Right. Now you're talking about Charles Ray, right? He's the same guy.
Hold on.
Guy that parked his cruiser, his car, just tried to show that the taillight was smashed. It was all.
Back up. Wait, what? Charles Ray.
He was on the stand. He was one of the officers that had a dashboard cam that pulled in at One Meadows and had a video because they were doing a well-being check on the kid because. Yeah,
he was the responding officer at John's house.
8:30 in the morning, or whatever time it was in the morning, and before Karen and the crew got back, he went there, and he has a video of the taillight that was packed with snow. So he had a direct examination from Lally, and then when it came to the cross, they said, "Thank you, sir. We don't have any questions." Yeah, that's the same guy. So there's a video of him testifying. You can see what kind of creep this guy is.
I'm.
So there you go. There's the connection, right? He's a townie. He's in the mix.
Can you imagine doing your job and then fighting the town to do your job on top of doing your job?
That's stress, the mental anguish alone. But I tell you what, it seems like they take it in good spirits. They're kind of used to it by now, but they shouldn't have to be.
That's right. They should not have to be. I mean,
it's crazy.
Wow, Mike.
Yeah. So the same cop, Ray, R-A-E, who owned that property, who did all this stuff, is the same cop that went to One Meadows on the dashboard cam and took the video of Karen's taillight that allegedly was, already broken, but it was all covered with snow. And Lally asked him a couple of questions, and that was it. And then on cross, no further questions. You're all set. So it just kind of to show you, like, is this guy on the up and up, or is he on the, he's on the flip? Character is everything, man, right? Moral
man, Mike.
Yeah.
That's.
Imagine trying to put a small business out of business just because you need a variance or this,
it validates the house. That's and
So this guy's a POS to begin with, right? He's a POS. He gets involved with the Reed case, still a
Yep.
POS, and now he's still trying to fight this stuff. And what does the building inspector got to do with any of this stuff? He should know what right from wrong. He should say to Mr. Ray, "Hey, you got nothing here, pal. You're wrong. She's right."
Timeout
Let's
guy.
move
Who had to sign the occupancy permit?
That's right. That's right.
Now that explains why the building inspector is there. The building inspector is there to bust the chops, to make sure that they make it as hard as possible on that small business. As hard as possible.
And I'll tell you,
Time out. Wait a minute. The guy that approved the house behind him is going to cite them for what? Pretty sure that's an illegal dwelling.
It is.
Last I checked.
It is. And then the building inspector goes down and makes them change a set of stairs going into the house they own right next to the business, just out of the blue. Doesn't pass, So it's just it's like they have a laser target on them just from the town because of Charles Ray, Mr. Ray.
Well, you know that place in Boston you took me to? I'm gonna go start a one-way trip. Let's go. Get in the car. Let's go. Right to Canton we go. I'll give you $100. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay right here. Don't go anywhere. Promise. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna start loading the freaking no. Where's Charles Ray live? There's got to be some bushes somewhere. We'll stop freaking, dude. I'll get pallets, illegal dwelling. I'll get 30 people from Mass and Cass down there hanging out in front of the selectman's house. We'll start freaking, dude. Let's rent a U-Haul. Throw them in the back. Bring your tents. Let's go. Going to Canton. Gonna load the town of Canton. Relocating.
Speaking of Mass and Cass, right? Guess what the health department just put up in Canton? At the parks, just Narcan boxes. You can walk up in a children's playground at Duval Park right now and pick out a Narcan needle. And
great. Guess what? Mass and Cass people, we're going to the park. Let's go. Everybody in.
I mean, my mother-in-law lost her fucking mind. She called up and they're like, well, and then it came us a bullshit line. We put them everywhere. There's one down. Tom, remember I showed you where I go fishing? They put one down there.
Yes.
They put one down there.
In the middle of nowhere.
Right. Now you have kids, right, that are playing on a playground, and you have a Narcan box that's 2 feet off the ground, 3 feet off the ground, and visible sight of all these kids, mothers, fathers. Right now, if you go down to that park, right now, there's families down there playing, and there's a Narcan box right there. Now, tell me when the last time I heard somebody OD in Canton. No, I haven't seen it.
Well, I'm gonna tell the same time there was somebody raped in Canton. Hello, you broke the internet again. Mike's paused. I can't believe that. No, listen, the last OD was the day after the last rape.
Oh, someone mentioned there's been a couple of ODs at the Canton Club, which is about
a couple rapes that Helena refuses to address.
So,
at what club? That same club, right?
Canton Club. Yep, right
Canton
down the street.
Club.
Yep. So,
all right. So listen, we can bring the people from Mass and Cass. We can bring them there for a drink, right? If they're over 21.
They can really walk to Duval Park and just hang out and shoot up and get their Narcan right there.
Listen.
So here's my problem.
Yeah.
If we knew there was a drug problem going on at Duval Park in Canton, and they decided to put a Narcan box up on a telephone pole that's cut off in half.
Yeah.
Why aren't the police down there patrolling it?
No, they're worried about the people holding a sign. They're worried about Meredith with the sign. That's what they're worried about. They got to make sure Meredith doesn't step off the sidewalk.
Right.
And they got to make sure Nick doesn't step off the sidewalk with his sign. And God forbid it says anything bad. Forget that.
So my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law live right across the street from that park. And Peter Murphy knows the park I'm talking about. He used to play softball every day there, right? It's a good park, big fields, brand new playground. They actually had child activities during the summer where you drop your kid off to play soccer within the town of Canton. But they got a fucking Narcan box out front. What are we doing? I'm not saying Narcan's a bad thing, but why are we putting it at playgrounds? Why are we putting it at a fishing area down where you would launch your boat, right? Because is this where people go to do this stuff? I don't know. Because I tell you what, I haven't read anything about it.
I haven't seen anyone shooting up when I go fishing. None of the boat ramps or nothing like that.
Right?
I
What's, I don't understand. So out of the blue, my sister-in-law is walking her dog, and there's a Narcan box strapped to a telephone pole 3 feet off the ground, right at the entrance of the park. So I can go on. I can go on about this shit. This is unacceptable. And they didn't tell anybody they were going to put them in. They said, I went to another couple of parks. Messenger Park where they had the softball game.
right.
There's houses right across the street. There's no Narcan box there, right? There's no nothing there. They said they have them at at Wampatuck where we go fishing, Duval Park. I think there's one at the police station, and one at the library or something like that. They put a Narcan box near the library. Yeah, the library. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? I guess who's in charge of Canton Alliance Against Substance Abuse, CASA? Chris Albert. Yep.
So what a brilliant strategy. I love it.
Probably didn't even know. I'm going to guess he didn't know. Because if anything, you want to put one right near the center of town. Wouldn't you think, Tom? You know what I'm saying? If you want people to get access to, that might, I would put one kind of near, I don't know, the set of lights near Bolivar Street in that area, maybe the Walgreens parking lot. I don't know. But not where kids play.
Park.
Because
at a park.
A kid could walk up to this Narcan box that's so low to the ground and take one. A 5-year-old kid can walk up to this box, open it up, and take a Narcan thing out of it.
I don't think that's good for you anyway. I think it just gets rid of the way the drugs interact with your brain and stops the OD. But I don't think that's actually healthy for you, that stuff. So if a little kid took it and played with it, I mean,
I'll agree to this. If that's a place where people go to do drugs, well, at least raise the Narcan box up so children can't grab it. And don't put it at the beginning of the entrance. Go to the back of the parking lot where allegedly, and I'm doing walks there now. I'm looking for like discarded needles. I'm looking for all that stuff. Trust me, I'm looking.
Mike,
haven't found any.
I got a question, and it'd be interesting, and we should probably check this when we go and do our mass and cast Russian roulette type of thing. We're gonna bring the people here. Is there anything around the boxes about getting help and like treatment and like how to like support line? Yeah. Is there anything of that?
Nope.
Just Narcan.
Yep, just a box that says what Narcan is and what it does.
That's just like no way.
Tom, I'm talking 25 yards away from the playground.
So someone overdoses, comes to realize that they just got their life saved, and now they want to get help, and there's nothing there for them?
Nope. Yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Good job, Casa. Good job.
Crazy. Oh,
hey.
What up, fam?
There you are. How you doing, my dear?
Do you ever sleep?
Good. No.
Because I watched, you posted your video last night, which was great, by the way, your show. Thank you. Maybe we should play that too, Tom, because it's not that long, a couple minutes. And
I think it's 7 minutes.
I think Shelby's got it queued up already.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Ooh. Am I too loud, guys? Sometimes it's a little loud on StreamYard. Okay.
No, I love the Southern Raw.
This shit. I
do not have it queued up, but Eve, if you want to grab it, I'll approve it. I'll throw it up.
Okay.
Tommy, I know, huh? Isn't it mind-boggling? Tom, it blew my mind. I have a video of it. It's on my X stream. I have a video. I posted a video of it. It's on my X. Products 840 Boston Mike. Anyways, how many coffees you got going, Eve? I know, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
He has so many coffees working.
How many coffees? You double 50?
I'm not double doing it today, just a singular.
Okay.
Oh, good for you.
Listen, we didn't talk about you see the letter that Sean wrote about us? He thanked us publicly for validating all the stuff.
Yeah,
that was nice. Nice of him to write that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we know. I think we kind of know the same people, but his is a little deeper. He's got somebody.
He's a different level.
He's got
Yeah.
a couple people with different level than we do, and what he wrote and what he dropped yesterday was 1,000% right.
Unless you
Right.
see now, how do we tell the people that?
Can't. Tom, we talked about this. We can't, and neither can he. And neither can he.
I
He's
know.
about to. No, he's about to. But anyways, Eve made a video, had a show last night about the controversy over the ballot for the jury, and which I thought was very telling. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to talk about that, Eve, you can. We'll give you a little plug here.
Okay, so I feel like everything the Commonwealth does is intentionally corrupt. And the reason why I say that, maybe not every single thing, but things that matter, like motions being denied, evidence being stifled, we've all seen it. I do believe that Auntie Bev has premeditated this denial. And I think that I found which appeal she used to do so and used to manipulate and as like a baseline. And so my video kind of shows exactly why she made those decisions. Just my opinion only.
I watched it. I watched it this morning, and it was a very. Was it Roth? Was it
Yeah,
Roth?
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Roth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the
It was
90s,
good.
he had hit someone. I think he killed 2 people, either 1 or 2 people. And here's the thing: it's just like Karen Reed's case, in a sense that they didn't know if he was intoxicated on the scene and or at the hospital. There was conflicting witness statements and testimony, and hints of planted evidence, hints of MSP not doing their job properly. Exact same situation. Also, that it was a lesser included charge on top of a involuntary manslaughter charge. So that was the appeal process, is to see if they could get that acquittal on the main charge, because there was some issues with jury instructions from the judge and the verdict slipped. Exactly the same situation as Karen Reed.
Awesome.
Exact.
Wow.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Is we gonna play it? We got it queued up. Shelby can get it up.
Shelby got it.
All right.
Come on, Shelby.
She's come on. It's only what is it, 8:30 in the morning, 9:15. She's trying.
Listen. I have to keep up with the chat too. Okay. I have not had
You're
enough
supposed to do all the things, Shelby. All of them
all the
at
things.
once.
I'm looking. Hold on. Oh wait, I just get Flipperhead sent me something on X, and I just got so distracted. Hold on.
Oh gosh. Joe, what's he doing? I know. Gosh, man. I try not to look at my phone when I'm on the show because
Where is it?
he wants to make t-shirts.
It's in the back chat. It's in the back door.
Oh, you
Didn't. Shh.
there it is.
Ooh.
Okay, cool. I got it. All right.
All right. Thank you for playing this, guys.
Yeah,
I think it's important.
Oh, absolutely. It's very relevant to what's going on. Yes, absolutely.
Now, warning, there is AI voices behind it, because it's so much faster just to have some voice speak on legal jargon that I probably would butcher anyway. But
no problem. No worries. No worries, man.
Some people don't like it. I don't really care.
Okay.
So if you haven't signed up for
because of the division,
Eve's channel, you got True Crime with Eve. Please do.
I'll drop her link. Hold on. You ready?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Judge
Hey,
Beverly
Tommy.
Cannoni denies the motion to dismiss in the Karen Reed trial, and we're going to break down what I believe is the reason and how she premeditated this to set it up in a way that makes it difficult for the appeals process, yet could also work in their favor because of the division in the Supreme Judicial Court and the lower appellate courts on what is to be decided on this issue because it's very specific. So let's go down memory lane and watch day 32, where Jackson and the judge are fighting over verdict slips, and it doesn't go very well at first.
Why are we out here?
Your Honor, I just saw the verdict forms, and as we discussed yesterday, the amendments court indicated it would make them.
Oh, no. Okay, I did not say I'd make it. I said I'd think about it. I said I was tired and I needed to think about it.
You said before you retired and you needed to think about it, was you agree that there needs to be not guilty options for subordinate charges
No.
under count 2.
I said that it made sense to me, but no, I did not change it upon looking at it because the verdict slip, this verdict slip as submitted to the jury is exactly how it always is in Massachusetts.
I asked the question. I don't really care how it always is in Massachusetts. I care about whether or not it's appropriate.
It's appropriate.
But thanks.
It's appropriate.
Now we're going to go to the appellate side of the law and look and see what happened in the past.
Let's look at the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts appeal decision on the case of Commonwealth versus Roth. This case involved conflicting testimony and expert opinions regarding the accident and the defendant's intoxication while on scene and at the hospital.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Jeffrey Roth was accused of vehicular homicide and operating under the influence. The jury twice reported being deadlocked, and the judge took partial verdicts on lesser included offenses within the indictment. The Commonwealth argued that the judge verdicts, but the court agreed only in part. While the partial verdicts were deemed improper, the not guilty verdicts would stand due to double jeopardy principles. The defendant could only be retried on the remaining lesser included offenses where the jury failed to reach a verdict.
And this is why I'm using Commonwealth versus Roth, because it's so similar to Karen Reed's situation. And the end result of that case was that they allowed the acquittals of those 2 charges, while also allowing the reprosecution of the one charge that the jury was deadlocked on.
Make my argument, if you don't mind, Judge, why it's not appropriate. For a superior charge, they have to decide that she is not guilty of the superior charge. And that is the starting point of whether or not she is guilty or not guilty of any subordinate charge, often called a lesser included. Once they decide that she's not guilty of the superior charge, now there's two additional charges that they've been instructed they must decide whether she's guilty or not guilty of. How do they decide that she's not guilty of the first subordinate charge, involuntary manslaughter?
Okay. Anything else you want to say, Mr. Jackson?
I'd like an answer from the court. How do they decide that she's not guilty of involuntary manslaughter on that verdict?
That's their decision to make.
And how do they make it if they don't have an option to check a box that says not guilty?
They don't check the box that says guilty, do they? And then when they go to the next block, they don't check the block that says guilty. And on the top, you're left with not guilty. Okay.
So it's the absence of the check mark that the court determines is the not guilty finding by the jury.
Yes, that's what the verdict slip reads. It reads not guilty. If they don't check block 2, 3, or 4, the verdict slip reads not guilty. Okay. That's how it is, Mr. Jackson.
Well, and apparently that's how it's going to be because of the court's order. That is not how it should be, and it's over our strong objection. They need to see that there is a not guilty option for the subordinate charges. If they come back guilty on, for instance, involuntary manslaughter, that's immediately appealable. They didn't have an option on the verdict form to find her not guilty. It's almost like the court is directing a verdict of the subordinate charges.
Okay. I disagree with you. Ms. Giannetti, you've seen verdict slips exactly like this. Okay.
I actually have.
Have you had no lesser included?
No, I've always had lesser included, but I have not seen a verdict slip there where not guilty is not an option.
Okay. I disagree with you. All right.
I don't see
Excuse me. This is funny, Ms. Reed. All right, we're done.
All right. For the
She
court,
had to
please.
shut it down.
It seems to me like she did not want to jeopardize having to poll the jury in any way because of the ruling in the Roth case.
The prosecutor protested that the instruction was still confusing and that the jurors had looked confused. She pointed out that the format of the verdict slip, which had not been designed to take any such partial verdicts, added to that confusion. 6. The judge explained that if the jury returned with the verdict slip blank, he would interpret that blank as unanimous vote of not guilty for the offenses charged, and that he would then inquire of the jury to confirm that that was their vote.
So the similarities are in the Karen Reed case with this is that the verdict slips were screwy. The judges both corrected the verdict slips, however, for different reasons. And Bev made sure to note that the verdict slips were proper originally. Because that's how it had been done. And that's what this appeal decision confirmed. But I feel like there was another reason why she did this.
The jury's been waiting. Why don't we bring them in? And I will tell them that a new verdict slip will come into them. How's that? I do, though, have to make a finding that the verdict slip as is was proper. All right, so we'll just leave it at that. I'll make the amendment that you want, but that's my
Karen
finding.
was like, the fuck you say?
This judge basically put a new spin on the same issue with different details, using manifest necessity as an excuse, which the decision of the appeal is based on. Take a listen.
In assessing the merits of adopting some procedure by which deadlocked juries could be asked to render partial verdicts on lesser included offenses, we first note that, consistent with the prohibition on double jeopardy, the adoption of any such procedure would effectively require judges to inquire as to partial verdicts in all cases of deadlock. In other words, if a judge may request such a partial verdict but fails to do so, there is no manifest necessity for retrial on the offenses charged. Jurisdictions that permit such partial verdicts to be taken ultimately conclude that failure to do so bars retrial on anything other than the lowest of the lesser included offense contained within the complaint or indictment.
And in my opinion, that is exactly why she declared a mistrial so quickly, because she did not want any inquiry on partial verdicts, and why they wanted to shut down any jurors from speaking out on the fact that they did decide unanimously that counts 1 and 3 should have been acquitted.
Clear as mud.
Good job. Good job.
She never cited this Commonwealth versus Roth because it was show.
Right.
He's
right.
using this as the baseline to make decisions. It's
Wow.
very clear to me.
Yeah, you made it
How
clear to
did-
me now. Go, Tom.
How can you do that if you can't?
How can you do that if you can't? Oh, that's a good question.
I mean,
Well-
the judge admitted in the Roth case, okay, the instructions that I gave were confusing. And guess who brought it up? The prosecutor, not the defense. The prosecutor said, this is giving some confusion. We don't want to coerce the jury with partial verdicts. And we also don't want a mistrial, right? So the judge tried to correct that by taking the partial verdict, but also explaining, we need to change the not guilty box, just like Bev did in the Karen Reed case, where she adds the options. Either way, it was appealed in the Roth case. And the reason is because the judge took a partial verdict. It was erroneous to do so. Bev knew that. Bev knew we cannot have them polled. We cannot have the jury polled, because if the courts or the foreman admits that there is an acquittal, you have to do it.
Keep
Even
going.
if it's appealed.
Yeah.
If you appeal it, they will overturn it.
Done.
The fact that it was not said in open court at all about the jurors having decided on those 2 charges needing to be dismissed, that's what's kind of hanging up this the Karen Reed mistrial. That's exactly
Is that why she bailed and get out of there so quick? Mistrial, let's go home. Is that why? So she didn't have to go that.
That's exactly why, because it was never stated in open court. That's the glitch in this issue with manifest necessity. Did Auntie Bev do everything in her power to avoid a mistrial?
No
way.
No,
absolutely not.
And that's my head. I'm thinking that I can't get that. No, the answer to that's a hard no.
But the appellate courts are very because it's a hard transition state like Arkansas, for instance, where
Okay.
you have to choose that first charge of guilty or not guilty and then work downward. Not a lot of states do that.
Because
This state, Massachusetts, does.
If the first charge is not guilty, then the second charge is automatically not guilty.
Lesser included.
Right. That's how, why now the second jury slip, once it was modified, did we ever see that? Was that the one you put up there, Eve? Was that the second jury slip?
That was
Or
the
was it-
original.
Do you think they ever changed it? There was some hot mic moments going around where they never, like I heard they never changed it, but it was never really proven or anything like that. But
I heard that they never collected the slips after it and everything was destroyed. And, here's the thing. I do not understand.
Don't they have to keep that? Like ballot slips, they have to keep it, no?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they destroy everything that.
It's a legal document. It's you give it to the courts. It gets presented to the courts. It's.
I know. I feel you. So the appellate courts and Massachusetts gets on my nerves. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but you get on my damn nerves because it doesn't make sense to me that they want to protect jury deliberations and how they deliberated from public eye or from being able to be figured out. I don't know why. We're human beings. We think thoughts and we go, what makes sense and what doesn't. We make a decision on it. Why are we so up in arms about how a jury deliberates? Could anybody tell me that? Why that's so protected?
I got nothing.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that original jury slip to me, I would have been confused. Okay, there was no not guilty next to any of the lesser charges. I was just like, what are we doing? So if you just put not guilty on the top one and left everything else alone, you're good to go. That's how I understand it to be. Right. Okay.
But the Fifth Amendment and the clauses underneath that state, double jeopardy applies first, right? That's your number one thing. It's an amendment. It's your constitutional right not to be tried twice.
Mm-hmm.
But Massachusetts, the states have made loopholes around that by saying, well, kind of, and here's why. We allow this, the judge discretion, which is bullshit, by the way. I've never heard of such a thing here. We don't do that. And that's what kind of makes the appeal process harder and clogs up your system where somebody can't get an appeal for 3, 4, 5, 6+ years because they're fighting over verbiage and what the meaning of manifest necessity is. It's ridiculous.
But that was, remember what's his name there? The meaning of is. Yeah. This is like the case of a fallen police officer. This should take a little bit more priority than a parking ticket or this is something serious. I don't think you can get anything bigger than this. But not only that, but this Boston police officer that you found on the lawn of another Boston police officer whose partner worked with the police officer. Like there's more arrows pointing at one person, and then now they're becoming like illuminated billboards all pointing at one person, and we can't even get a judge to follow the stupid law. I don't understand. It's not helping.
And the Supreme, real quick, the Supreme Appeals Court, Judicial Court of Massachusetts, they do not want to change the laws very often. That is a big deal, right? Because that kind of creates more appeals from past rulings. So they really hope that the lower appellate courts will take care of this issue. And I'm hoping that that's the case because you want to start smaller, then work your way up because you have a better chance of it getting taken care of in the lower appellate courts. So that's what we're hoping for. And the only way I think that Weinberg, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
He's an excellent attorney. Very high success rate with appeals. I think that the district court appellate judge would need to be convinced of manifest necessity. Did Bev do everything in her power to make sure a mistrial should not have happened?
Yeah,
that's it.
That's a hard no. Final answer.
Well, not to the appellate judges, because here's the problem: judge discretion. Judge discretion does not fall under manifest necessity because it's a discretion. It applies as them not having to use it when making decisions on a mistrial.
Listen,
And I'm like, bullshit.
Judge,
I disagree.
Judge discretion aside, when Lally takes how long to get a sample back from the lab? I mean, they hung the whole hat on this hair that wasn't even a hair. It came from the freaking snow brush. It was horse hair, so it doesn't scratch the freaking clear coat in the car because it was lease.
So the alternative that they have is to the totality of the case. What are the issues? Well, evidence being held back or manipulated, destroyed. They're going to have to layer this baby to the point where an appellate judge has to go, okay, this is so wrong and so handled so badly from the jump.
But here's the problem.
It led up to the judge making it wrong decision.
Here's the problem. You have these jurors, right? They said no, correct? Not guilty. You heard that, Mike, right? Not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Bev say, listen, that third charge, it's a gimme. Get out of here. Not guilty. She has that discretion, correct?
She does.
Why doesn't she do that? That's one decision and it makes all this go away. All of it, doesn't it?
And that was the point of my video. She intentionally made sure to get the hell out of there without that jury being polled because it would give more credence to the appeal.
Sounds like
because
Bev
of the
needs to be
history.
polled.
Do you think Jackson or Yannetti could have done something at the end right before the mistrial and stood up and no?
People give them a hard time for not declaring erroneous, like in Wedding Crashers, erroneous on all counts. They could, but because Bev did what she did, because of how she did what she did, they could not have done that and had a better chance at an appeal that they were probably already expecting.
Yeah,
I think that they knew what I just put out there about the Roth case. I think that they were already aware of what appeals were out there, obviously, to see where she would go. Because that's what Bev does. She reacts. She'll go back into her chambers, hang out, read the motions that the defense were giving her pre-trial, and she would do whatever was best for the Commonwealth. Right?
Yep.
And that's exactly what she's doing here with the appeals. She's not dumb. She is a sneaky little snake. And
we figured that much, Mike, right?
so the defense had to stay silent, if you will, because first of all, you don't want to protest too much on a mistrial, right? And it be reversed, because here's the problem: if they were to say erroneous, we want to poll the jury, she could, by her discretion, tell them to go back and deliberate.
Okay.
If whatever the jury says, she could, in her discretion, say, you know what? Why don't you try one more time? Then the appeals process would not be in the favor of the defense.
Because she gave it everything she had to try to get them to get to a verdict. Okay.
Bingo. Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Or nothing. Less said, the better for the Commonwealth.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yep.
So their hands were tied. This was very calculated and strategic, in my opinion. That's just me.
Listen, we don't need that.
No.
Gone. No more. That's shame. I can't see, with all the options and choices that she has, the path that she took seems to hurt the most for the Commonwealth. Why? Unless, if that's the least resistance path, or the path that hurts the least, it doesn't seem like that. Or what are we missing? Are we missing anything here?
A judge.
The feds.
The feds, the judge. So I guess my other question would be, how quickly does this reach an appellate court? You know, how fast can we go here? Because I feel like the pressure's on now. They have until January 27th to get this in front of an appellate judge, or you know, for the feds come in and sweep
But-
up the bullshit.
Right.
I got
What's
something
up?
from Flip Ahead that he just sent me that he wants me to show you guys.
Okay.
Ooh,
So
I'm
hold on one
excited.
sec.
I thought he was at a wedding last night. When does he have time to make this stuff?
Eve, like Mike was saying, like, where do you even go with the, like, how, like, where do you even
So-
start?
Does Weinberg go to the appellate judge or, you know, the federal Supreme and file the motion, right? And then we have to wait how long it gets to be read.
It just depends. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully before trial starts, retrial starts. But
Yeah,
I
someone
think
mentioned. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the feds, there needs to be mention of the federal investigation in the appeals process, which I'm sure that will happen. But this is such a unique case that I don't know. The unique set of circumstances kind of makes this appeal probably more, I don't know, what's the word, for the judges to take it more seriously in the appeals process.
Gotcha.
But the feds, the information from the federal investigation needs to be outed in that appeal. Spill the beans.
That's right.
And I think they
agree with
will.
that. Yeah, I
They
think
really
you're
do.
right. Yep. This is from Joe Flip Ahead. Yeah. Okay. I remember this post. Actually.
Has the jury reached a verdict in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Do you feel like that it is likely that the jury on continued deliberations will reach a verdict?
All right.
No. There's more to that video.
Yeah,
I'm sure
there is.
That's about how quick the mistrial was in the Karen Reed case. Boop.
Hey,
Time to
Eve,
go.
did you read Aiden's interview with the juror? That was pretty cool.
Listen here. I got notes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Sure.
Where your disagreement falls?
No, I'm sorry. It is not. That is not the case for the highest offense.
Okay. Does the jury agree on the highest level of offense that the defendant is either guilty or not guilty?
Yes,
What is the verdict in that?
not guilty.
Okay, so the jury has found the defendant not guilty of first-degree murder.
Yes.
Okay. Has the jury considered the second level of the offense attempted first-degree premeditated murder?
We did consider that.
Is there an agreement that the defendant is not guilty as to that?
There is an agreement.
I have not asked you specifically, but are all of these agreements unanimous as to these levels of charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Has the jury considered the charge of voluntary manslaughter?
Yes, sir.
Is there an agreement, or has the jury found the defendant not guilty of voluntary manslaughter?
There was no agreement.
No agreement? Is that the level of the offense at which there is disagreement?
So really, that's all Auntie Bev had to do was just ask those questions.
And get a feel for the jury. Is this exactly what you did? Did you think about that?
That's it.
And
Nope. Instead, she called the mistrial and she booted it out of there. And then she writes a 21-page, dissertation about why. Crazy. I think Eve's gonna come back with Aiden's interview with the jury. She had some notes about what the questions were and how they answered them and stuff. So I think more after this, more and more jurors are gonna come forward because they spent 8-9 weeks of their lives behind this.
how can they not?
I hope so.
I mean,
I hope
what?
so.
Because what's happening is their vote or their voice that they have, that's their job, isn't being heard.
No. Nope.
Oh, before Eve gets back, we have 362 people. I have a question. Can everybody just make sure they're subscribed to the channel? We were looking at the numbers and it's like crazy how many people are not subscribed. We're not going to do anything. We're going to take a break for a second here, get more coffee, but we need everyone to like and subscribe if you don't mind.
Please.
You know, let me
Go get some coffee. No?
Yeah.
You good?
I'm going to actually I'm going to show the screen how to do it.
You know what?
Just watch. All right. So where are we?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna present it. Yeah. There we go. Go to YouTube, right? You can see it, and then say we want to. I don't think I'm here. Okay, this is Seekonk Speedway. Now I want to subscribe to it, so I hit subscribe. That's easy. Have a nice day. Just that one click, right?
Yeah.
So you go back to YouTube, and if you do Seeking Justice with Tommy and Mike, go to the channel, and I'm already subscribed. Sometimes it's weird, but you hit subscribe, and you're good to go. It's that easy. So if everyone could like and subscribe, we'd appreciate that. Also, you want to tell people about the good news that smiled down upon us?
I'm really excited for this. Was it next Saturday? Next Saturday? Yeah, next Saturday, right? Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was next Saturday. So for all you out there that are really into true crime and mystery and stuff like that, off the subject of Karen Read, not really connected here, but
well, it is. It's hardcore true crime.
Yeah, we're blessed with the opportunity to talk to an author of the book, The Smiley Face Killer. If you guys are familiar with this, it's people have been disappearing. Men have been disappearing throughout Boston, and no clues, no DNA, nothing, and they're found either floating. They're out with friends and they just disappear. I remember one of them. It was a bar, and right near Causeway Street, I believe it was, and the friend stepped outside to take a smoke. He's with a couple of friends, and that was it. He was gone, just gone. And then he was found later floating. And then another gentleman was just found by the Barking Crab a couple of days ago floating. And they're all younger men. They're in their 30s, I believe. They're not.
There's definitely a pattern, right?
Right. So we got the author of the book coming on, The Smiley Face Killers. We're going to give him we're going to give him a block of time on Saturday to just to tell the story, because I think no one else can tell it better than he can. And if you haven't bought the book yet, check it out. I haven't bought it yet, but I know about the case, and it's online. You can probably read about it. But the book is
real quick. It goes 11 states, Mike.
Oh wow!
And been going on for a long, long time.
So I don't think it's one person, obviously. Right?
But there's two different sides. There's values for both, right?
But I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome.
And again, like you said, the young men, right? They're 20s, 30s, out drinking, having a good night, just hanging out with each other, and just done.
Off the sidewalks, like just literally off a sidewalk.
How does this many people forget how to swim?
Obviously when they're thrown into the water, Tom, they're not capable of swimming.
Right.
I don't even know what the cause of death is either. I don't even know what the cause of death is.
But if you notice, it's usually they get offended, the younger men.
Yep.
They were drinking previously at a bar. They end up in the water and they don't know how to swim. Like those things just all line up all the time.
Yeah.
Since 1996.
Did you say serial killer?
Ooh. Yeah.
Smiley face killers.
That's my teeth.
You know smiley face killers?
The smiley face. Yeah.
I do.
We have the author of the book coming on next Saturday to speak about it.
Oh, I'm there. I'm going to be in chat asking so many questions.
Eve, you can come on with us.
Really? That'd be great.
The more people that know about it, the better. This is big.
What do you know about it, Eve? Do you want to speak on it, or do you just want to have questions?
No, I just have questions. I don't remember the nitty gritty. I'll have to go read all of my stuff that I've collected over time. But it's very, I'm always interested on how they skirted by for so long. And sometimes I do feel like there are multiple serial killers working together, specifically with law enforcement. More and more we're seeing through the FBI data and over time when cases are solved that there was somebody in law enforcement or in a government capacity helping or doing these crimes.
Wow.
And it makes sense to me.
It does, because they're not caught. They're they're too clean. There's so many things that are clean about them. Water deteriorates all the DNA, so you throw them in the water.
Yeah. I don't know what time on Saturday. Do we know yet? Is it morning time? Probably. We'll have more details this week as it comes on. But.
Now he's Pacific time, so I think he's coming on. I want to say maybe 10 o'clock his time.
Is he an East Coast guy?
No, West Coast.
He's a West Coast guy? Okay.
Yeah. Shelby knows. So, listen, we'll get it down. It's coming up next weekend. It's going to be we're going to big block, like maybe 4 hours. We're going to put aside for this guy. Yeah. This is huge. And we just had another body in Boston floating. Young guy out drinking. Click, click, click. Everything matches up again.
In Austin, Texas, too, Tom. We have the same situation going on in Austin, Texas.
In water?
Yep.
Yes. Where men
yep,
in their 20s, 30s, and sometimes 40s are ending up being found either in the water or washing up on the ravine. The police were saying, no, it's not what you think. People just get drunk in Austin and they go fall into the river. And I call bullshit for how many times it's happening. I can understand maybe 2 or 3 times a year. This is 7, 8 plus times a year.
One of these kids was like an Olympic swimmer. So there's no way that he forgot how to swim. It's just, there's no way.
Yeah, I just saw a Dateline, I think, about the one in Austin you're talking about, Eve, where he was out with his brother or something like that. And he was a big guy, and he was getting a couple beers, and they found him like in a little pond, like in the middle of a square that's man-made, and they couldn't believe.
It's a river that kind of flows through, but it's like they call it a tank down here or a pond.
Right.
But the river flows through downtown Austin, and
crick.
A crick. Yeah, we call it a crick.
Yeah.
So they're washing up in the areas where there are what are they called? Those facilities where they collect water and clean it.
Water treatment plant.
Water treatment plants. They're kind of showing up around there because it directs that water flow in a certain way. And so they're kind of washing up on shore, especially when it rains here. So the FBI came out and said there's absolutely something going on. There's a serial killer in Texas, specifically in the Austin, San Antonio area. And they're trying to figure out, who he is, what's going on. Are there multiples? They don't know that, but there is, in fact, a serial killer.
Yeah,
but the police denied this for years. This has been going on for 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So
yeah, this one, that 48 hours of Dateline I saw, was like almost like he was drugged. Like he wasn't acting himself, and he was jumping and
Lady
skipping.
Bird Lake, that's right.
Yeah, he was skipping and jumping down the street, which he would never do. This guy, this is like so uncharacteristic. Like left all his friends where he was, never had any problems with substances or anything like that, and then he's gone. Just found a couple of days later. Yep.
Oh, they say it's been happening since 1996 in Boston.
Wow.
This is big, Mike. It's been going on. And what happens is one drops, and then they'll go to Rhode Island or go to Texas, and one will drop there. And then a year later, another one will come here. And then it happens so often. It's like we're getting used to it, and you never hear anything else. That's it. You just hear about a body found. That's it.
And the cause of death, if I recall right, was a blunt force trauma to the head. Yeah, the one in Texas, I think, was Eve. I'm pretty sure it was. I could be wrong, but it was. They found a bruising in the back of his head. But what are they doing with these people? Like, is it just a sport? Is it just the hunt, so to speak?
So the most feared serial killer that I have ever researched is a man named Israel Keys. He lived in Alaska, I think he was either born there or Vermont, but he lived in Vermont. But anyway, he's over that side of the fence. And he would come and fly to all of these cities randomly. He had no MO. He didn't care who it was that he killed. It didn't matter. He did not follow the typical serial killer MO. And that's how he got away with it for so long. But he is the scariest MFer I have ever researched. And the reason why is because the levels and links that he went to cover himself by digging little kill kits across the country, the way that he planned flying to cities and then driving to other cities to then fly out of, he would avoid that radar from the FBI at the time.
Wow.
And
How did they catch him? How did they get him?
Well, he messed up. He messed up as they usually do. He kidnapped a barista who, it was one of those coffee shops that were popping up in the 2000s, 2010s. They were becoming popular where you could drive through a little hut, right?
Yeah.
And get your coffee and get out of there.
Yeah.
Well, he kidnapped her, took her to her home, did awful, gruesome things, kept her, froze her while his family was just right next door. He was in the shed. And then went on vacation with his family like nothing ever happened. And he would taunt the family members with ransom notes and took a photo of this poor girl while she was already dead. And, braided her hair and made her look like she was alive. And it was very obvious in the photo that she was not. But he taunted the family members with this. He's the sickest piece of shit. I'm telling you.
Wow.
And he killed himself in prison. So they never really got the full story of the other victims. But they're assuming it's in the hundreds. But they only have about 8 to 13 that they think is him. But
Hundreds?
they're assuming
Hundreds.
it's 100 plus. Yeah. That is terrifying.
See, that's smiley face kill material. That's the numbers we're dealing with here. Wow. What made him different, Eve?
The MO. It didn't matter if you were a kid, just like the smiley face killer. It didn't matter who you were. Didn't matter where you come from, what neighborhood you were targeted. And that was that. There was no way to track down how this serial killer behaved to follow that. Because that's how the FBI catches you most times than not. Or the serial killer will mess up. They'll be seen on camera when they thought they weren't. They got too ballsy. They reacted too quickly. They went outside of their unnorm, if you will. So circumstances.
Wow. What did he do for work? What was his job? Do you remember?
Who, Israel Keys?
Yeah.
Carpenter, I think.
Wow.
Carpenter. And
What do
here's
you
the thing,
think-
he had signs. He had signs from the jump. People knew about him harming animals. You hear that's the number one red flag. He had been doing that, had joked about it, talked to people about it, and they were like, some people took him seriously and just never talked to him again, or they thought he was joking, but never reported it. Never did anything.
Why?
So-
Well, that's just
And he had a family, and he went about his normal life after these killings, and would just go back to his family and act like nothing happened.
Oh,
Right.
so how they figured out who the killer was. He left a paper trail after they caught glimpses of him on camera. And the rental car that he chose when he drove to, I think, Arizona and then through Texas, the little things like the receipts that he would leave behind after pulling him over one day and noticing, strange smells, moldy. There was a rolled up $100 bill that was moldy and had blood on it and smelled weird. He was acting weird. And fortunately, the cop was like, this isn't right. And then it kind of just snowballed from there. It's those little things. And usually it's law enforcement taking something seriously and doing the right thing and documenting properly. So that's how they caught him.
Yeah. Interesting. Sometimes you read about that, like an officer on a traffic stop smells something that doesn't pass the sniff test, and goes further. Yeah, and then you also hear about how someone got pulled over and was let go, and they keep on going on and doing what they're doing for a couple of more years. So it goes both ways. But this is interesting. I can't wait to read about this. It's fun.
There's a lot
Just-
going on,
You're
huh?
going to get creeped out. I don't get creeped out very easily, but that man, like, I hope that there's not many of those running around, but I'm afraid there's a lot of them. Nightmare stuff,
Hey, did you have questions about Aiden's interview? Yeah, he has some notes.
Oh, yeah. Let me get my handy dandy notebook.
All right. So this is
All
in
right.
regards to the juror being interviewed by Aiden. Good.
So the number one thing that the juror said to Aiden was, he asked a question about Colin Albert. And I personally, I don't have too much stock in Colin Albert. The only thing that I think that they wanted to keep him away from it is because he either saw something or knew something, and they knew that he wasn't smart enough to keep it quiet. They knew he was going to trip up somewhere, right? Because he's not the brightest crayon in the box there. No offense to you, Colin. But it's true. He's a meathead. He's a dull marker, all right?
All right. All right.
But the closest person to Colin is Allie McCabe. And so when I read this question about Colin Albert being in the house, the juror said, I know that at some point Colin Albert was in the house. That was proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So good on the jury for saying that, because that's the whole point of, being a juror.
Wow, even the jury said Colin was in the house.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. But whether he was there past the time he stated is not as clear. Obviously, that's what the whole point of the Commonwealth was, is to muddy the waters on that. Listen to this. I do put weight on Allie McCabe seeming to slip up during the part of her testimony where she stated that Colin wasn't in the house when John was.
I remember that. I
remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was in live chat on Law and Crime, and I said, say what now? Say what? And I recorded that immediately, and I started to get to work on Allie McCabe. And boy, oh boy, she's got some secrets that were just pouring out. And the federal grand jury has a lot of that too.
Yeah, right.
For instance, her ways.
Yep.
Not being home until 1:30.
Her Life 360,
Life 360, excuse me. Yes.
Does that work? Does that stupid thing work? People use that.
Life 360?
It works after the fact, when you're looking to see where they were, and it gives
I'm just. It's supposed to just keep tabs on you.
As long as you say this home is entered as like a location point, school, the restaurant, whatever. It's very good whenever you pinpoint places that they should be. But when you're looking at where they've been, it's not as accurate as Google or Apple.
Okay.
And then crying on the stand too, like playing the victim. I mean,
that Jim McCabe started coming out, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. She was coached. I mean, the whole statement was canned until she slipped up about saying Colin was in the house, but not when John was there. That to me was very telling. I mean, I don't know why we didn't harp on that. And I'm sure. So, what did the jury think about that? What did they understand what happened there? And they had no idea. The other part too is that they had no idea that the crash daddies, they thought they were paid by Karen's insurance company. They weren't right. They weren't paid by a federal government entity. But you go back to Ryan Nagel's, was it the feds? Do they remember that whole statement? Could that prompt them to ask more questions? And so a lot
they sure missed it.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question, not to interrupt, but what do you think about John O'Keefe's statement? Paul O'Keefe, I'm sorry. Paul O'Keefe's statement.
But over the weekend?
Yes.
But how
I didn't hear it.
It was just like he was just saying this is just another attempt for the defense to muddy the waters and confuse people, and the truth is that, the truth is being exposed just through the prosecution. Am I right, Tom? Did I say it right? Or
Yeah.
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 He's still on the prosecution side. He hasn't really, Hey, it is what
How
it
much?
is.
How much was that trust was added to that trust fund to make you say that, Paul?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But I tell you this.
How much is that worth? Justice for your brother. How much would you sell that for? That's what I'm going to say, and I have no.
Wow.
I do not regret that because John O'Keefe's justice matters.
Yeah.
And it feels like Paul can be bought and sold at any time based on his actions. So what I said. Sorry, Paul. It's the truth.
Well, no, you know how to read body language. You understand questions that are asked and what the answers might be and what they should be. And I kind of agree with you a little bit there on some of the stuff. Absolutely. But it's just interesting to me that Tully and himself was quarterback and D-lineman on the same team.
Yep.
So when you're an athlete, I'll go back to this. When you're an athlete and you play together as a team and you're like almost like warriors. You go to battle every day, especially football. You have that. You got my back, right? You got my six kind of thing. And I feel like that's what Paul thinks about Tully. And I just feel like the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office is using that power, which is it's powerful, man. It's powerful because how is my teammate ever going to lie to me? Why would you ever lie to me? And obviously they showed him things that probably favored their prosecution and left things out intentionally. But if I was Paul, I'd want to hear it all. I want to sit down with somebody, and I want to be spoken to like an adult. Take the gloves off. Let's go. If it's unpleasant that you want to tell me something unpleasant, I want to hear it. At this point in my life, I want to hear it so I can sleep at night and not go back and forth with Aiden on a Facebook Messenger or through Christina Rex on NBC 10, or just sit down with somebody, man, and do yourself a favor and your family a favor. Just hear it out, good, bad, or indifferent, and then if you still walk away from that meeting, then fine, and so be it. But at least you did it. At least you reached out and did it. You didn't sit back and just say, I'm going to hear one side only. That's nah.
And I'd like to ask Paul, why would you ever befriend someone like Kate Peter and Lindsay Giannotti?
Because they're great. They're great at talking their way in. It's not their first time. It won't be their last. They just get their way in, and that's how it is.
No, we know why. We know why, but it was a jab in itself, right?
I know, but again, we're all on the outside, right? Imagine this guy. He has nobody, right? All these people are against him, and here's this one lady talking sweet to him, whatever. And
I think Gemma Cabe got him in there.
Yeah.
She slipped him in there. Said, here you go. And you know what? It's very telling about the father. Okay, I know his father. I know what he's like. And with him not being there is a silent statement. It just, you have to read into that a lot more than you think. And with Paul, the way he sits away from his mother is very telling to me. That's your mom, dude. That's, I don't have my mother. If I could have my mom here with me, I'd be sitting right next to her if my brother got, murdered. It'd be the first person I'd be hugging.
All right. So I have a hypothetical question. What happens if another juror contacts Aiden and he sends the same questions to that juror and we get pretty much the same answers back? Then what? You think that's going to actually change anything? You think Bev's going to come back and say, well, I've thought about it? How about 4 jurors? That happens 4 times. They can 4 people come to Aiden.
I don't give a fuck if all 12 come out now. It's too late.
Not happening, right? It's just, that's it. Done.
It's for the courts. That's what she'll say. It's for the appeals process. Because
Yep,
she knew. Remember what she said?
You're right. She's right.
She said, either way, this is going to be appealed. So she chose the way that she, in my opinion, thought would be better for the Commonwealth and the O'Keefe family. Because they want Karen to go down for this, no matter what. That's the whole point of this. And they don't want the Alberts to go down. And that's a fact.
Hypothetical. What if she's included in the Proctor text? What if she was on that text, for example? Right? Say like that. Say she's on the text to say that she's that biased.
Are you talking about Bev? Gave him
Yes,
that type-
Auntie Bev. Just a hypothetical, only for the fact that she's that biased. Say Auntie Bev is that biased, as Proctor is. Similar level. You still think we get any way to get that out of there?
Well, it's got to be released.
We
Tom.
can't. I know, but you think we can't get a state trooper out of his job? What do you think it takes to get a judge out of a job?
The federal government.
Honestly, you have to be literally caught with your pants down.
But
with whatever it is. So that would be a great receipt.
Yeah, but she's appointed though. She was appointed, not voted in, by the way. So she's got a lifetime job. It's gonna be very hard to get her out.
And she can make a decision that is bad and no repercussions whatsoever.
Yeah, right. Because she knows she's not going anywhere, and she's gonna weaponize the law in her own courtroom as best she can to protect herself. It's human nature, right? I don't know. But the appellate court is interesting to me because you have Weinberg, right? Brilliant lawyer who kind of knew this is where it was going to go. I think Auntie Bev just appeased him and smiled at him because she knows how good he is. And next one possible, yeah. And she knows how good he is, but she gave him the decency better than she gave Jackson and Iannetti at any time. Looked at him, didn't stop him, let him speak. And I think Weinberg has got this teed up to go to an appellate court. I hope. That's my opinion. And I hope it never makes it to January. I really do. I really hope it does make it to January. Because what a way for Team Reed to be like, another waiting game. But we're not going to quit. We have no quit. We're going to keep raising money. We're going to keep supporting it. We're keeping them doing standouts. We're going to try to get Mike Morrissey out of there as best we can. But like we know, the Birchmore case is all teed up. If the Birchmore case goes down, Karen Reed's problems go away.
And we know that.
Right? If the Birchmore case goes down, Karen Reed's problems go away, and so does Eden's.
And everyone's does.
Right.
So listen, I need to talk about something real quick for everybody. Not to throw it on my mods, even though I already did. I'm not sure if people are interested, but Star Driving is having a craft fair. And I don't know if you guys want to have a little get together. Maybe I know Erica's got a big screen. Maybe do a movie night, try and raise some money for Karen, like $5 a car or something.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Just figure I'd throw that out there. And
are you saying private? Before the we'll call it the flea market. I don't know the word.
No, that same time.
All right. So that night you're gonna have the movie. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So the 22nd of September.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I'm just curious if people are interested in that. Is that something you guys would be interested in coming down? We try and raise some money. It's for Karen. So we try and raise some money for Karen.
Sure. I thought you.
And let me know what I can do to help.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
From afar.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Sleuth, did you ever look into the Prince police records from the state police? Trooper Prince.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just because it bothered me because she was at Mike Morrissey's dinner fundraiser, and that didn't cope well with me because she was one of the most honest ones, I believe, in her reports, but they're fucking buried. I can't find them. But I think maybe you did. I don't know.
No, the denial is what says everything, right? When you are not given something because it's under some kind of review investigation is an answer.
So
there's something to her.
You did the request.
Yeah.
All right. And they wouldn't give it to you because it's ongoing. Okay. That's very
Which
telling.
I would assume is an IA.
Yeah.
Right. Or AOG.
Yeah.
Why the hell is she there at Meatball's fundraiser? That blew me away. That pissed me off. I was like, oh no.
Save her job. She needs a job.
Right.
Amy, money.
Because I thought in the beginning of this whole trial that Prince's her police reports were going to come out and validate a lot of things the defense was saying, but obviously they got buried. So, anyways, just a thought there. That's
Such a shock. Oh my God. I'm just mortified. Oh my God.
You know, I think that she did the same kind of thing in Sandra Birchmore's case, where some of the information that she had differs from the other troopers. I'm telling you, I think that she saves her own ass by giving that little bit of information that causes a little bit of strife later down the road to be like, I did my job. But she's still slimy because she doesn't do her due diligence in her investigations too. So she does just enough to get away with it. That one we got to watch for.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Interesting stuff, man. I've been watching the firefighters' testimony too, man. How the memory lapse of these people is incredible, you know. And don't forget, if it goes to January 27th, they got to do it all over again. They got to get back up there and remember and do the same story that they told 2.5 years ago, a year ago, whatever it was, and try to keep it in play. You know, it's gonna be very hard for them to do. I think the delay helps the defense more than anything here, but I just hate to see it even go that far. But who am I?
Mike, after 2.5 years, do you remember what you shot on this hole at Ponkapog on this day?
No, unless it was a hole in one. No.
So, like, they have to remember everything that they said to the grand jury, to the federal, to the state grand jury,
then the federal
grand jury, and then the court with Auntie Bev. That's a lot. All 3 times.
Yeah, and then
And I want to make it clear that Bev, she is, or I think at one point in time, or maybe even to this day, she was head of a Norfolk department that deals with appellate court stuff. So she knows all of it. She knows how it works, how long it takes. She's no chump when it comes to this stuff. She knows what she's doing.
So your odds of succeeding is now cut in half just because she make a phone call.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Or better yet, they won't make a decision to overturn her because they know who she is. Like Mike, I wouldn't make a decision to overturn you. I'd go and I'd back you up.
Right. I get you. No, you're right.
And then you send me my campaign donation. Thanks for that.
Right.
But
that's a whole. This.
Oh, wait a minute. Eve has to give you a state-funded grant to give you the money so that you give me the money. That's how that works.
That's how it washes itself. Yep.
Man.
It'll be all $3.50 that they'll give me.
$3.50. That's what the Loch Ness Monster wants.
$3.50.
$3.50.
And
wow.
This donation with Meatball the other day, I think it was Nikki posted it. Like you had cops donating to his campaign. Police officers.
Yeah.
You know what's up with that?
They care about the political climate in the town of Canton, Norfolk County. That's what it is.
And then he's got almost $500,000 in his war chest, and now he can dish out money to like-minded people like him that he wants in office and other positions. You know, it's sickening.
And then he can use his office to hire private investigators to do work on his people that he's against.
That's right. That's right.
And then if you don't like him, you can set him up for murder.
Seems to be the theme these days.
Yeah. This is the common denominator right there, man. It's crazy.
Oh, I wanted to bring this up real quick about Doc's interview with the juror. Do you feel deceived not being told about the feds? And the juror says, I don't think I would use the word deceived, but I would say misled. Well, yeah, that was the whole point, right? Looking back, not knowing the entire scope of what was happening and not having what seemed to be crucial information, like hindered my ability to see the whole picture. Exactly. That was intentional.
Damn right it was. It was bad.
In this other proceeding, I wanted to choke somebody hearing this because as I knew that the jurors were like, what? Or they just didn't know what the hell they were talking about. How would you know? Thank God at least Ryan Nagel said feds. That's about it.
I know, but that was the only 3 seconds of the word feds mentioned, while the jury was present, that someone should have popped open, but it was so early on you know, and then we go another 6 weeks, and you kind of like other things are getting thrown in there, and it's just I don't know.
Well, I have 2 words or 2 letters that I think you should keep in the back of your mind when you lose hope. DC. That's all
I
I
don't
need to
know.
know.
I got a bunch of 3 letters for my words. My words, I identify as 3 letters, but Eve, that's my thing. I got all sorts of 3 letters going on. I'm a little happy about that.
Oh my gosh. Hey, listen, we'll run up almost an hour and 50 minutes. What do you guys think?
Yep, I think we're good. Eve, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, guys. Cannot wait
problem.
for the Smiley Killer author. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
So excited.
Find a new pillow, people, boys and girls. Find a pillow for your butt. It's gonna be a long day. This is gonna be a great day. I can't wait for that show. I'm really excited about that.
That's next Saturday.
There's some big stuff, guys. You don't I don't think they understand how big this is. This is huge, guys.
Huge.
So,
This is huge.
You need to
This is
know about
huge.
this stuff. You need
Yep.
to know what to look out for because you could help the FBI or the local police catch a killer.
I'm telling
A
you.
serial killer.
Yeah.
One of my mods, Dog Mom, brought this up to me. I gotta be over a year ago, maybe 2, and it hasn't stopped. And there was the body, then another one, then another one, then another one. I mean, they're all connected. There's no this many people don't fall in the river. They don't happen.
Nope.
Especially if they're in the same genre of type of person.
Yeah, exactly. They all fit
That's not a coincidence.
that criteria. Oh, it's a Friday, Shelby. Oh, it's Friday. Oh, even
I'm
better.
sorry.
I'm psyched.
Friday.
One less day. Sweet.
All right, so
We'll make
Friday the
we'll make
3rd.
it work. Yeah,
All right, cool. All right, we'll get it out there.
definitely.
But, it's Sunday here, so we get a Pats game tonight at 8:00. By the way,
Yep.
so I
Love
love
it.
it. Into the Patriots. I don't know if you play. You like watching football, Eve? No.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Here
No
we go.
Cowboys. Woo! Another year of turmoil and distress, but I'm here for you, baby.
Well, we know
Are you
Ride
a
or
that.
die.
Are you a Dak Prescott fan or no?
No,
All
I'm not. Absolutely. I mean, I get it. I get the hype, but no.
right, man. Thanks for being honest. I love that. Thanks for being honest.
Eve,
All
you're
right.
gonna have to Google the term postseason.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of it all.
Oh, all right. Listen, Mike and Eve, thank you both so much.
Thank you,
We
Tom.
did
Thank you,
a
Mike.
great job again. Everyone did great.
Hey,
The
thanks for coming
mods
out and join us, man. Thanks
and
for
the
joining
mods.
Your
us.
chat is amazing. Your mods are amazing. Shout out to them.
Yep.
You guys have a wonderful day. I've got to go to a birthday party I have to host a party because it's my little one's birthday.
Oh, there you go. Happy
Congratulations.
birthday.
Yeah.
Good
How
job.
old? How old? How old?
6. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Woo! That's a good age.
He's too smart. Lord have mercy. He's got his mama's mouth too.
Oh, have fun. All right.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right. Take care.
All right, Mike.
Have a good day, guys. Work on Justin Root's case. Bye, guys. Talk soon. Yeah, we got
Definitely.
We got a lot of pokers in the fire, so to speak, and we haven't forgotten about anybody, but there's so much going on with content and other stories, and the Karen Reed case is first and foremost. That's where our focus is. But as there's lulls in the weeks and days, we bring in other information in, like the smiley face killer, or we bring in a problem that's going on in Canton with the Narcan boxes, or Colleen's problem with the power equipment stuff. And I saw some nasty posts about Colleen personally. I don't really give a shit if she's that. I really don't care. What's right? I'm talking about the law. I'm talking about the rights of a person. I don't really give a shit.
It's not personal, right? We're not. It's not personal. I mean, it's personal for the fact that she's a small business is getting targeted, and that's ridiculous. The town's targeting the business.
Just to say this, there could be anyone that owns a small business.
God.
All right, imagine having that up your ass every day. And I don't really care what Colleen does on a personal
Doesn't matter.
Give a fuck. Do not
What
care.
the town's doing to the poor lady. No,
Right.
you don't do
Yeah.
that. It's wrong.
We got
Wrong.
Narcan boxes going up in playgrounds, and we get the town of Canton bullying a small business owner. I mean, come on, let's right or wrong here, people. Let's right or wrong. We don't need John Conley back in office next year. Your voice is your vote. Okay.
Listen, Mike, we're gonna rent a friggin' box truck from U-Haul. We're going to Mass and Cass. We're loading them up, and we're driving them to Canton. It's a one-way trip. I'll spend all day in 5 tanks of fuel back and forth, back and forth. Load them up. Let's go. Drop them off in friggin' Canton Center. I'll be having these people sleeping in the friggin' benches. Telling you, Mike, I'll do a live stream. We're just relocating. People at Canton are so loving. There's plenty of room. You can build a house anywhere you dream of. You don't even need a driveway, for Christ's sakes.
Nope. You
Put a house right over there.
They put a nice piece of land in the woods. You know,
And they're gonna bust the people that keep the friggin' economy going, that work
Right.
hard. They're gonna bust
Right.
their chops. I think we should work just as hard bringing all these people from Mass and Cass right to Canton. Better
Yep.
quality of life. Let's give them a
We
little
have
upgrade.
We have the Canton Alliance Against Substance Abuse, right? We can use that, CASA.
There we go. They're perfect. See, they're even open to that, Mike. We're gonna help. They got Narcan at the playgrounds. They're gonna go nowhere.
And
Telling you, it'll be great, man.
We might have to increase the budget, though. You know, for Chris
No.
to handle all the influx of people coming in. But
Hey, listen,
you're right, Tom. You're right.
Thanksgiving dinner. All the refugees in Mass and Cass can go to the police station and cook dinner on the freaking stove.
Wow, that we paid for.
That'd be the one.
Oh man! Hey, so that picture of Helena Rafferty, was that the Kenny Chesney that No Shoes country concert last night?
It was,
Probably.
sir. Doing a detail, making money.
Wow.
Chief doing details.
And she won't even
Chief.
show up. She won't even show up and address the public. You know.
So it's either so busy that they can't do their job and find out, right? That's the balloons that and she's got time. She got time to do a detail, but not time to like even talk to the people that she's
supposed to
hired.
protect. Yeah.
Don't
Well,
even go to.
you know-
Don't even say protect because we know they don't protect nothing.
You know, I did learn something that day, that the police are not required by the Supreme Court to protect you. Only
Right.
if you're in only if you're in custody. Only if you're in custody. That is blew my mind.
Unless you have handcuffs on, the police are not. They do not have to protect you. They do
That's
not.
right. So if you go back to the school shootings like Uvalde, right? They sat out there for how long time? By law, they didn't have to go down there and try to attempt to take that guy out. That blew my mind. Blew my mind. So as a person that's incarcerated, you have more rights sometimes about being protected by the police. Right? Am I right? As soon as they
If
put
you're
you
in custody, yeah.
As soon as they put the braces on, you have more rights than Joe Q public. Well, I just find that odd. That was very interesting.
Lots of stuff interesting.
So that protected serve on the cars means bullshit.
Yep.
You got to go to Aiden's hearing this week, Tom?
I think it's Thursday, and I think I am. I think, and then I'm actually waiting for a phone call to find out if someone is getting arrested or not, and should have front row to that one.
And maybe if we can do a live stream from the power equipment company.
Oh, without a doubt. If you get Colleen, if you get out there, we'd like to talk to you and Jeff.
Oh,
Give us a
even
second.
even if she wants to log on, we can just do it right from the business online too.
Sure.
I just want to. I want to hear the whole story. I want to hear the whole thing.
Exactly, and I'd like to see the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, man. I'm gonna check
Absolutely
out.
agree. Yep.
I gotta check out. I'll talk to you. We're gonna be on Tuesday morning, right?
Tuesday morning.
Unless something big drops, right? And we'll just keep it going. We appreciate everybody out there that watched it, took the time this morning to watch us. I mean, we're just a couple of chumps on here, talking true crime and trying to make the world a better place. That's why I look at it, And have a good Sunday, everybody. I'll talk to you later, Tom. All right?
Yep. Talk to you, Mike.
Okay.
Enjoy. Be safe. Bye. All right, everybody. And call that a day. Yeah, I remember that. That was down in Quincy on that on the island. Yeah, I remember that. So, all right, guys. Listen, smiley face killer, like amazing. We're gonna have the smiley face killer for a long time. Please, 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 if you have questions, email cputom@gmail.com. If you want to donate, I didn't even say this, donate, keep the channel going, Cash App or Venmo. Should be at the scrolling marquee at the bottom. My mods. Please thank my mods for doing everything they do in the background. They're the best. And we're going to get them on screen real soon. Yeah. But again, good citizen, good to see you. Nick Nack and Trevor and everybody. You're all great, and I love all you guys. So I want you all to have a wonderful day. Have a good weekend, rest of it, and we'll definitely catch you Tuesday. So in the meantime, I love you all. Bye-bye.